Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. This is National Valley. This had an update on Thursday the 18th of March. I'm assuming part of that update was console release because I don't remember this being on console before. So as far as I know, it's new to console. This is by GWENDAL. It's 234.02 megabytes to download. There are no custom crops on this. There are no custom mods on this. That's all fairly standard. Contracts are available. Seasons, it doesn't say, and also looking on the Mod Hub website at the pictures, there are no pictures on there that show it in any seasonal state, so I don't know. There will obviously be a default soil map. There's no custom soil map for precision farming, but there's the standard Giants default one, which will be under there. So I'm on normal economy, I'm on new farmer. What do we start with? The map looks like this. This is a predominantly forestry map. We do have 17 fields. They're all fairly small, and then we have all the forestry plots. This is a really nicely put together map. I like the layout. I like the whole kind of, I don't know, it has a kind of dynamic to it. You'll see as we go around. So on New Farmer, what do we start with? Well, nothing really. The periphery of the map is already pre-owned on here. It's 1,471 to buy. You can't actually use any of that. That's outside the borders of the map, but you can buy it. But what you do get is that little bit there, which is 16,416, and that's the main yard where you start. There is no sleep trigger as standard. There's no house or anything as standard on this map, so you need to place one, whether it be a doormat, whether it be deck chairs, whether it be whatever you want to put down, but you'll be able to put them down wherever you want, so there is no set sleep trigger. Field prices vary. 191 grand for that plot. That's obviously for forestry, but fields themselves, I think the smallest one is field 6, which is only 25 grand. And I think the smallest plot I found for forestry, that one was 120. I thought I found one for about 104, but I might have misremembered that. There you go, 105 grand there. So you can start off fairly small and build up from there if you want to. And do that whole kind of pioneer frontier thing where you clear the land. There are a few meadow areas dotted around the map as well. Some of them in some really nice locations. And it is very picturesque as you go round. I'm trying to think anything else off the start that I need to recall. Oh yeah, slot count. Slot count is 638 out of 1,299 on New Farmer. It is also 638 on Farm Manager. It is also 638 on Start from Scratch. Because what do we actually start with? We go into Garage. We start with a Lintrack, a Lintner Lintrack 90, John Deere 6155M, a TK D302 trailer, the Stepper trailer with crane. We've got some front loader attachments, and we do start with a horse paddock, which you don't have to have. If you get rid of all of that, you can get the slot count down to 553. So that could be your start slot count if you want, which is easily doable for any map, and especially a forestry one. Now, from here. So this is the yard you start with, that 16,000 yard. I like the fact it's not your standard farm thing. You know, again, if you're going to go down a storyline, a narrative, there's something, a particular style of Let's Play you like to do, starting with the yard already is pretty cool. So I'm going to grab the John Deere and let's get round the map. There aren't a huge amount of sale points to look at. I got a real feel, again, I haven't travelled a huge amount, and I've only been to America two, 3 times, been to Canada a couple of times. I got a real feel with this that it's like an old mining prospecting town. And logging's always been done here, but when the gold mining dried up, logging became the primary kind of industry. And you've got an old town that kind of grew up out of the original mining and that kind of thing. I don't know why, it just has that kind of feel to it. And I want to say somewhere like Pittsburgh. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a film I saw ages ago. I just got this sudden feeling. And I thought, oh, this reminds me of, and I don't know why, because I've never been there. Portland, maybe, those kind of places, heavily forested, I don't know. Anyway, horse stable is just here, which is part of what you own when you start off. Opposite, actually we'll get to that sell point on the way back out. We'll do these ones next, because these are all kind of clustered on top of each other. As we go down this little track here, to the left we've got the spinnery sell point. It's marked up here on the edge, but you can sell, I think it's just in front. And then opposite we've got the livestock market. Kind of no frills, it's just, you know, you can imagine that you've got people here that do 2 or 3 jobs, and you've got someone that maybe does lumber and forestry and whatever, and they dabble in a bit of animal husbandry and livestock work on the side, that kind of thing. It's not a dedicated necessarily livestock market. As we swing back out of here, the animal pens are fixed in place, they can't be removed, they're part of the map, but there is a kind of horse riding establishment sort of here as well. Again, it depends what storyline you want to go for. I like the fact there's no sleep trigger fixed, because whatever sort of way you want to play this, you can decide where you go with it, which I think is great. Swing round here, that's quite a tight turn, and we come into the station mill. Is this the station mill? I'm trying to remember now. We will check the map. Yes, I think it is. Let's go to that. There we go, yeah. So we're at Station Mill. So we just had a look around here. For the actual paddock, it's weird that you own the paddock, but you don't own the land that it's on. That's a bit peculiar. I haven't found another one anywhere else. That buys that whole plot, which is pretty cool. So Station Mill, then we're going to go up the hill. And we're going to go to the hotel, then we're going to go to the store. And then the sell points then become a bit more spread out from there, and we kind of get out into the forest proper, so to speak. Little turn up here. There's a lot of detail. You can see why the slot count is fairly high, because when I first looked at the map, it's quite a small map. I thought that's quite a high slot count, but there is a lot of detail, you know, all around the map. Lots of little hidden gems to find, which I like as well. So hotel sell point up here. It's one of those ones. It's like, looks like the hotel has seen better days, and you know, needs a bit of a refurb, that kind of thing. Up over the top, we'll come to the store. Which is just here. Now, you're not going to get huge machinery in and out of here, and realistically, because the sort of terrain, it's not going to be a huge machinery kind of map. If you do clear areas out, I think, judging by the terrain I've seen as I've gone round, it's quite rough, quite steep in places. You can pick out patches and you'll be able to put some fields and stuff in, but not huge stuff, I wouldn't have said. So our point here for selling, customizing, repairing is all there. Our buy trigger is here. The reset point is also here, so if you get anything stuck, this is where it will come to. This is your reset. Come back down from overlooking the town itself. We've got a little park here at the back, the little monument in the middle. But there are quite a few sort of... It's one of those ones where this is the third time I've been on it, because I go on New Farmer, then I go on Farm Manager, I go and start from scratch to check the slot counts and that kind of stuff. And each time I've been on, I've seen something different. You've got a little market here out the front. You've got the little play area for the park and the monument around the side. Like I say, there's a lot going on here at the main, in the main town. I think that's the sell points and triggers at the main farm. Well, I didn't look, sorry. My fault. From here, we're going to head out. So, farming isn't the primary kind of function of the area, but there is a little farm, which again, you don't own off the start, but you can buy if you want to. So if we head up, this little graveyard off to the right there. We'll come up to the farm here. There are collisions in and amongst some of the hedges. So, the main farmyard. Now this farmyard has got, we've got a line point, which is just over there. We do have a silo built in. We've got chickens over here. This will take 80 chickens. I didn't actually find out where the egg box is. I did put some in on when I was checking the map. Sped up time, and you know, chickens can take ages before they start producing the eggs and you get your first egg box. So I'm not sure where they're going to appear, but it's got to be here somewhere, hasn't it? Close. Barn to the side, doors all open, so we've got a nice bit of storage space here. putting into the silo is done there. It's a 300,000 litre silo, regular crop types. It's not a multi-fruit or anything like that. Taking out the silo is done there. Like I said, line point there. Now the cows are here. Milk trigger is just here. We've got a manure pit there. Our slurry pit just here. The milking parlour is here to the side, but that is where you get your milk from. Now, if we come around to the other end, as far as the cows go, the feed trigger is here. So putting total mix ration and stuff in is done there. The straw trigger was just here, just on the inside bit here. That's where the straw trigger was. This will get to 100% productivity with just total mix ration. You don't have to have everything in here. We do have to the side a silage clamp. You can just about see the tyres there on the floor, and if I step forward into it, it should come up with fill level and compacting. So between these tyres here, all the way to the back there, we've got a silage clamp. Turn that back off. Our dialogue box to put our cows in is all the way up here. This will take 80 cows, and to the side here we've got this little panel. If I press circle, okay, there we go. It puts those up. I can't remember. I was going to say shutters, blinds. That's the wrong word for it. What was it they were called? Netting. Well, it's netting, is it? That would make more sense, wouldn't it? Lower the netting, put that back down again if you want to. Turn that back off. So then coming out of here, we can get into the main area for the cows here. And the water trough is tucked around the corner, just here. So your feed, your straw, your dialogue box and your water are all here. The pen goes out, or the pasture goes out and through here. I like the layout of it. It's different. It feels different. You know, it's nice. We'll go back out to the main yard, I think. Hop that, hop that. So as we go back through the main yard, we get to this building here. Side door in. This is your workshop. So in here we've got a workshop trigger. Side doors open. This door opens up. I do love these doors. To do this, come on, work. There we go. So this is your workshop for the farm. As we go up out of the farm, up the little slope here, we come to the pig area. Straw trigger for the pigs is in here. Feed trigger is just round here. Slurry point is there. Manure from the pigs is just here. And your water trough is there. With this being your dialogue box, just there. This will also take 80 animals. This will do 80 pigs. And you can see how steep the ground goes up a way. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you every inch of this map, but what I would say is, if you do come on it, have a bit of a search around. I'm going to show you a couple of bits I came across. But there's some nice little meadows tucked away. There's all sorts of, yeah, some really nice stuff. It's just very well done. Close that. There we go. Let's go back to the tractor. So that's the main farm area. So we have come from here. We did the horse bit, spinnery, animal dealer, station mill, hotel, up across the top to the shop. Down there, we've come up this road here and out to here. Now from here, we've got a bit of a drive because we've got to go from here all the way out, and we're going to head out to the grain mill, then from the grain mill to the sawmill. That's all the sell points, but like I say, there's a couple of things I want to show you on the way. Or one of them's after the sawmill. Doesn't really matter, does it? So it is a bit of a drive. Now, all the stuff that's clustered here around the town, then we've got a lot of open country, forested countryside before we get to the next ones. But they're well worth the drive, because when you get there, it's like, wow, you know, especially when you're seeing it for the first time. So as we come up here, there's a little parking area, and you kind of come to the end of the metalled roads. That's it. That's, you know, that's the town done. So you can imagine like hiking trails and quad bikes and that kind of stuff from here, which is out from here. There's a little hiking trail signposted off that way. You can have a bit of a wander through the woodland, but we need to follow the track. And as you can imagine with the forestry map, there is no shortage of trees. But the other feeling I got with this as well, it doesn't feel contrived. It doesn't, you know, sometimes you get forestry maps where the trees are more like plantations, which again, it happens in the real world. They're kind of very lined up in neat rows and you have patches. There are all different sorts of trees mixed in, which I like. I've just missed the turning. That takes me to the field. I think I need that one back there. I remember it being further, but apparently not. And following on from what I said about that kind of feeling of it being a prospecting, mining town kind of thing, when we get to the next sale point, that kind of, for me, just kind of reinforces it a little bit more. But we've got, I suppose what would have been a radio station, but radio mast, telecommunications mast. And out up here, we come to the sheep and the grain mill. But again, little cluster of houses. It's, you know, was it mining? Is it just a little homestead area just tucked away? If they found a little meadow and, you know, built up here. The triggers here are a bit more obvious, being the sheep don't need straw, but your trigger there for your dialogue box, this will take 100 sheep. We've got our water trough, we have got our feed trough just there. And if we go around the side here, we have got the grain mill sale point just there. Now this does carry on. There are little tracks that wind around all over the map. I've got a small field just here. Beyond the small field round here, there's a meadow again. So we've gained a bit of elevation. We're up in a more kind of mountainous area. And there's a meadow at the back. These little, let's say, these little hidden gems knocking about. So from here we're going to head to the sawmill, and then from the sawmill there's just a couple of things I want to show you that aren't sell points, but again, interesting little features that I came across. And if you're the sort of person that does like doing storylines in your gameplay and that kind of thing, you might just like it. And like I said, have a search around. You can kind of do a loop all the way around. If we go back to the map, so we've come from the farm down to here, up to the little car park, then followed this track out past field 15 and up to here. There is a road that continues on, and there's a little house and a little shelter down there. The road comes all the way back up and joins where I was just now at that meadow, but that road goes all the way around the back. We're going to go back out and join this track that's going to take us up to the sawmill, but there is a route that pretty much takes you all the way around. Brings you back through this meadow here. I thought that might be a lake because that's a meadow. All the way back in, you come into the back of the town, around where the horse are. But then there are loads of tracks within all of that, with all sorts of stuff to sort of, let's say, go and have a look at and explore. If you're a multiplayer and you play with a logging team, this is going to be a challenging map. It's not easy terrain, all of it. It's a pretty steep climb up from here. It's not always that easy to tell until you kind of come to the side or you realise that the tractor's really slowing down. So we're pretty much in the northwest corner of the map now. There's not really a shortcut through to the sawmill, but the whole beauty with logging is make one. Make yourself a shortcut through. Use a bit of landscaping, put a track. It's right here. Down into the sawmill. Lumber point is just off to the right. Wood chip sale point is just over there. So where have we come from and to? So from the grain mill we followed this track out to that one there. We followed this track all the way around, across the top, and then down into the sawmill. Like I said, I'm just going to show you a couple more things. They're not sell points, that's the last of the sell points on the map. But it's just a couple of those things that, if they weren't on the map, you wouldn't know. It wouldn't make any difference. But the attention to detail and the fact that the map maker has put them on, it just adds a little something, you know. So look, this here, like a little radar station, just tucked away. Could be a weather station, could be whatever you want it to be. That's up to you. As we come up over the top here, there is a track that runs all the way around the side, and like I said, showed you on the map, it kind of goes all the way around. But, and this is what I wanted to show you, which can either back up or add to a storyline, in that we've got this massive quarry, which looks like it's been abandoned for a long time. There are trees growing in the bottom of it. Was it an open cast? Was it gold mining? Has something else been quarried here and long ago been left? Do you want to clear all the trees and stuff out of that and set up something in the bottom of there? It's great. It's just these nice little additions that can expand your gameplay if you want them to. And that is the map. That's National Valley by GWENDAL. So that's where we are at, looking over that quarry there. But there's all this stuff here. There's all these fields we didn't even go and look at there. Like I said, explore all these tracks, this lovely meadow around the back here. I haven't been round up beside the quarry, but there's this, look, looks like a placeables type area up the top. Loads more tracks and stuff to have a look at. But there you go. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.